Hello again, welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail. Paul Schrimpf here with Eric Sfiligoj. Hello, Eric.
Hello, Paul.
Well, I wanted to mention before we go on that we have a sponsor again this week. It's AGI Fertilizer Systems. And this week, we have a special video presentation, an interview with one of their folks talking about the SureTrack Plant Manager. It's a new software system that they're bringing to the market. So we welcome you to check that out after this is over. But thanks for joining us today, and now we'll get on with the news of the day, I guess. But it is it's a beautiful sunny day, isn't it?
I know. How often does it happen in January in Cleveland? I mean, I know the Browns won and all, but still, this is unheard of. Normally, in and around my birthday, which we are just past, it's cloudy, overcast, cold. I usually have a hell of a time getting that sticker to stick on my license plate because it's well below the 30 degrees they tell you is the best time to apply it. But this year went on without problem at all.
Very good. Well, that's excellent. Glad you got it done before your birthday too, which is also a good thing.
Well, yes, not that I'm driving a heck of a lot, but nonetheless, you never know when there's going to be that car behind you that's going to pay attention and realize, oh yeah, that date is passed. Oh, and that's the wrong color.
That's awesome. I had an incident where my daughter came home from Nashville and my son came home. We had all these cars together that we did, and then like a month after, they were all the birthdays are about the same time, within a month and a half of each other. But then I was driving down the road a month after my birthday, and the police stopped me and said, "Your sticker's like a month overdue." Like, what?
He just gave you a warning, I hope.
I thought I did like 5 cars. He saw it was like right down the street from my house. He's like, well, just don't drive anywhere else, but go get your sticker. I'm like, okay, that's really embarrassing. So it happened. Whoops. So there's a big buzz on Twitter about commodity prices. We saw a lot of activity, a lot of excitement about what's going on. No, Eric, you had some additional details on that front, I believe.
Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, I know this is as we're doing this video, I've been in the process of getting my report ready for our annual look at spring fertility coming up in the February edition of CropLife. And folks were telling me, yeah, commodity prices are taking off. And I was doing a little research online, and lo and behold, I discovered that the reason the commodity prices are going up is the USDA report that came out about a week ago said the carryover stocks from December are much lower than they originally were projected to be. According to the report USDA put out, soybean stocks here in mid-January at 140 million bushels, which is down from 175 million. And corn is at 1.5 billion bushels, down from 1.7 billion. So again, as commodity prices are going up because there's less carryover than folks were anticipating back in December. So I guess this will be a real good thing for growers, which always then domino effects down to the ag retail level.
Yeah, apparently some of the videos I saw kind of recapping said this was the largest month-over-month shift downward in the history of these reports, which really sent corn into corn was the issue, and sent that into a real frenzy. They said soybeans was about where it was expected, but I've never seen anything quite like it in corn. And it's great to see these folks get some great prices for a while. But I think you got some of the folks on Twitter saying, once you hear about it, once it hits the news or hits CNBC, then it's almost over. It's on the downside. It's like too late. I don't know about that, but it was an interesting and pleasurable to see that kind of good trouble happening up at the crop price front this week.
Yeah, and as I said, Paul, more money for the grower community is always good news for all of agriculture. So, and along those lines, I know we had talked about the fact that in 2020, the net grower income, net farm income was about $119 billion, which was about a 36% improvement over the 2019 number. And we had pointed out many times that about $46 billion of that actually had come from federal aid programs. And we were speculating a little bit now as we move from the Trump administration to the Joe Biden administration coming in here in about a week, what might happen. when it comes to farm aid or farm assistance. But Tom Vilsack, who is the Biden's nominee for Secretary of Agriculture, was talking to a couple of ag groups here in the beginning of January. And according to him, Joe Biden is going to push for more COVID-19 relief for growers in 2021. So no amounts or timetable was mentioned in that speech. But again, it looks like, Paul, that the federal assistance for the grower community will continue going into the new year.
Yep. Well, you'd imagine stability and unity are going to be the buzzwords, trying to keep what they can stabilize, so that there's not unrest or frustration or problems in any one particular area. We can debate about the politics or the rationale for any of it, but it's I think that would clearly be the order of the day, is just to try and keep a handle on what we can, and with so much uncertainty happening around the country.
Yep. But again, I mean, all this, I'm sure I haven't seen the latest numbers on farmer confidence index surveys that he usually put out this time of year. But I suspect as this news trickles out, and what we talked about with commodity prices, that those numbers will probably be a little higher than they've been. So.
Absolutely. Any other news, sir?
Yeah, actually, again, this is also something we've been talking about a lot lately, and that is on the consolidation among ag retailer front. We're about a month or so away from a couple of big consolidations going on in the cooperative area in Wisconsin and in Indiana. And actually, I got a note this week from our friends at Valley Agronomics up in Idaho. And Valley, which is one of the CropLife 100 retailers, is acquiring Saddle Mountain Supply Company, which is based in central Washington State. And Saddle Mountain has 4 outlets, so that'll bring Valley Agronomics total outlet number to 28. And I know they already ranked in the top 20 of the CropLife 100, and obviously this will probably help their standing move up a couple of notches come the 2021 survey. Interesting.
Yep. It just keeps on rolling. I gave a presentation to Cooperative yesterday and talked about just that mid-range, the increasing power of mid-range regional, super regional retail establishments, and it just continues, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, I would imagine, given circumstances in the marketplace, that this is probably a topic you and I will talk about almost every video here in 2021. I would be very surprised if the first half of the year isn't dominated by news like this. Maybe it'll slow down as we get into summer, and maybe hopefully the world in general is kind of back to a sense of normalcy, but we will have to see.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate you presenting that, and we'd appreciate all of you sticking around for AGI Systems Message after we conclude this edition of CropLife Retail Week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Hello, I'm Robin Sitberg, Custom Content Editor with Meister Media Worldwide, publisher of CropLife Magazine. I'm talking with Josh Woods, Product Engineering Manager at AGI Fertilizer Systems, about SureTrack Plant Manager, which is AGI's new fertilizer plant management software. So thanks for being with me, Josh.
Thanks for having me.
Can you tell us a bit about SureTrack Plant Manager? What's the main feature?
The idea behind SureTrack Plant Manager was we wanted to take the 50 years of functionality from the 2 previous softwares that we had in Jungi Dispatcher and the Yarga software suite. And the 2 core functionalities that we found in both of those softwares we carried forward, and that is the ticket and order management on the front end, and then on the back end also keeping track of all of the inventory management. And we're working on integrating in some maintenance reminders for all of our equipment to be delivered through the SureTrack Plant Manager program.
Now, if someone already has this, is it possible to get updates, and how frequently do you update?
Yeah, so we push out big releases every quarter, and when we push them out, they become available to the software, and the software, every time it starts up, it does a check to the cloud and sees if there's any updates available, and it compares that to its license, and then it offers the update to be downloaded and installed on the machine. I will note that only certain user types can do this. So the administrators, the manager user type that logs into the software. But yeah, so that's how updates are taken care of. It's all kind of, autonomous and through the cloud.
Okay, excellent. What if someone already has agronomy software? How does SureTrack work with that?
Sure. We do currently integrate with 18 different agronomy softwares, but through the new architecture of the program, we made it very easy to and adaptable to many different agronomy platforms. So we can, if your agronomy platform is not one of the 18 that we currently integrate with, we can spin up a little library or what we call a plugin that plugs into the software and takes care of all that special business logic that you use with your agronomy package.
Okay, so that's software. What about equipment? What about your actual blending equipment?
Yeah, so we do connect with all of the existing AGI fertilizer systems equipment, whether that's your Yargis declining weight blender, it's the Jungi Kimway. It does currently integrate with all of that. Although we do recommend upgrading to the latest control software so that you get all of the new functionality and features that come with SureTrack Plant Manager.
The quest is always improving efficiency, right? So how does it improve efficiency for, retailers?
Sure, that is the goal of everything, is to solve a problem or help things become more efficient. And the first way that it does it is just through data collection. We live in a world of data today, so we're collecting all of this data and saving it for historical reasons and to help us make better decisions about the future. So there are several reports that can be generated, and some of them even emailed automatically, and others can be exported to a comma separated file, or so you can have it in Excel and kind of organize some of your data and help make better decisions. And it does other things like takes away some of the data entry by passing the order information around electronically, so nobody has to actually punch it into a keyboard or enter it into a spreadsheet. And then we have the recipe and formulation groups that allow you to pull up common blends and redo those at just a push of a couple buttons. So I have asked some of our users, what's the best thing about the control package and the software, and it's that they can run a fertilizer shed with one person in a pinch if need be.
That's excellent. I know that's something everybody's kind of looking for, and it sounds like it improves accuracy and the efficiency at the same time. So, well, thank you, Josh. I appreciate your coming on air and sharing this information, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.